Hello everybody, I'm Creature, and today we're reviewing the Tiny Instrument of Death. This is a base game weapon from the pistol set. It can be gotten from any mission, mini-boss cache, llama, kinda anywhere, since of course it's base game, and, well, you know, base game is just super easy to get. Like, what more do you expect from a base game set? Now, what's so special about this weapon is that besides, you know, being obviously a tiny instrument of death and shoots a tiny little rocket, the little rocket is actually controllable depending on where you look. Now, if you have depth perception issues, it can be a little hard to use at times because, you know, your eyes aren't all that good. My eyes aren't all that good personally, so sometimes I do miss my targets, but that's a me issue, not really a all-round issue. But the gun itself is super strong because obviously it's an explosive pistol and you get to control it and you get to keep a distance. Like, it's really, really good. Now, of course, since it's base game, it has the simple perk options of crit rating, crit damage, reload, all that. It doesn't have any special perking options like some guns from like, you know, the expansion or event sets. But it does the job of, you know, having the good perks. You know, every base game weapon can have good perks. It's just they're a little more cookie cutter, for example. Like, you know, every base game weapon is very much like a cookie cutter perked wise. You know, they have crit rating, crit damage with reload or mag. Cookie cutter. Now, something I do want to point out is every time you fire this, it will be taking 10 ammo for one shot. Back then, it used to be a little cheaper. I think it was either 6 or 8 ammo for one shot, but point being, it's not the biggest deal. Now, there is definitely, you know, the other gun I've mentioned in the other explosive pistol video, but point being, we're not talking about that one yet, so get out of here, shoot. But point being, we're talking about this one, and this one does take 10 energy ammo, and the Zap Zapp took 18, but it had 3 shots, so divide that by, you know, 3, bam, you have your amount. But point being, this does technically take up more ammo for less, but it definitely trades it in for the damage, because it is way, way stronger than the Zap Zapp ever could be. So this will also be a 2-part video. I'll be doing 2 matches, one with Speedle Jess for increased crit, and one with Quick Draw Calamity just for increased damage in general. Now, she does also increase impact, and since the weapon has high impact, we will be knocking enemies around quite well with Calamity when we do get to her. But I don't think that's a really big, like, bonus of the weapon, because usually you don't want to knock your enemies away, so, you know, yeah. So we'll be going with this one first, and then we'll be doing her second. And so it's a little more obvious during the video which build we're doing. I will just be using my hero. I should have done that in the last review of the Deathwing. Link in the description. That video kind of went... But point being, you know, I think it's easier just to differentiate them if I just use the hero instead of a skin. Now, there is some clips I'll be tossing in there where you'll see me wearing the Donut Officer skin. I think there would be actually, I don't think it's some, I think it's just one for one example. But point being, that one example is, you know, still pretty good, but it doesn't show the skin. For context, in that clip, I was using a constructor build. I was in my endurance trying to get gold flux for next review. But point being, when you see the clip, that's just like some context, just in case I throw at the end or like somewhere in between. I don't know. I kind of do record these when I do them, so yeah. Anyways, let's get in game and let's test this out. Also, I don't know where the music went. It kind of just stopped. Alrighty, we are in game. I already have a copy crafted because, of course, I've mentioned this multiple times. I just been playing around with this. We do have some targets right up ahead. Now, as you can see, when I'm up close, I will just be shooting at my feet because it is the best way to honestly use it. But, you know, you get that in, do the flick, you know, you'll hit the enemies. Now, when I say depth perception issues, I do want to mention that, like, there's not a real good indicator at where it's at. Because if you shoot at the, like, real close to the floor, there is, like, a little bit of a red glow sometimes, like, in darker areas. But in actual gameplay, you're not, depending on, you know, if you're good with depth perception or not, which I'm not, it is a little hard to tell where it's going. Like, yeah, see, look, there's a little red glow, but it went right behind the zombie. Husk, but whatever. Functionally a zombie, but by technicality, not one. Weird, I know. But yeah, let's go see if we can find some more targets to go beat up. Alrighty, so up ahead we do have a little bit of a crowd, so let's go in with our little instrument of death and just kind of shoot at them. Now, I don't think I can really show up this weapon all that well, because, you know, it's a trouble weapon, but most of the time when you're seeing enemies, you're up close and personal. even when you're using ranged weapons, besides maybe snipers and like, you know, some ARs. But when it comes to most people's playstyles, they're close and personal. Now we do have a little bit of a shield bubble up ahead, so let's see if this will go pop it at a good range. I don't think that popped a shield bubble. Let's go try that again. Yeah, no. Now there's a teammate working on that one over there, but it does seem like it's not able to pop shield bubbles, which, you know, isn't bad. But if you're using a explosive, it's really preferred if it can, you know, destroy shield bubbles and shielders and such. Now, does that mean the weapon's terrible? Well, no. No, but does mean it isn't as flexible as others might be. So you should really take that into consideration if you do test this out. Okay, so I fell, but up ahead we have a big crowd of enemies. Let's just... oh. Random teammates. Random teammates. Where do you even come from? I was like solo. I was like solo over here. Where did you come from? As you see, the Affliction does take care of them. It is a bit slow on this weapon, but it's relatively flying. You know, you fire, they take damage, and they die. It's not the worst. It's not the best. It's definitely better than the Zap Zapp. But you know, it's a weird option. I might honestly, my next video might just have to be on the paper shredder, because honestly, I really think I need to do a mass comparison between them. Like, I have a really long video where I'm just comparing the 3 explosive pistols. And be like, yes. And the best option is the one that kills the most, yes. Or like something like that. I don't know, I think a versus video would be fun. I just compare and contrast 3 different weapons, or two different weapons. It might be fun. I think the weakest of them though is definitely the Zap Zapp. So I think by technicality that one should be discluded. So it would just be the 90% death versus the paper shredder. So yeah, that might be a fun video. Maybe we can do the same thing for like the Hydra. Oh, over here we have a Smasher and a Survivor van. As see, you know, you got the rocket with the lift. And, it does its thing. I'm really bad at using it, if you can't tell, because I have terrible depth perception. But, I'm gonna switch. Also, I meant to mention this earlier, but I will be using a Haywire Storm as a primary. We are using this more or less as a secondary, but we are focusing on it primarily for the video, of course. We did the same thing for the what was it called? The Plasmatic Discharger. And, you know, we're now just doing the same thing for this weapon, because it's not a primary weapon. Let me say that right now. It's very much like the Zap Zapp or the Paper Shredder. Not a primary. This should not be your main focus of weapon. It should definitely be on the side for if you need to take care of a different target, a big crowd. Just something else than everything. But it can definitely do the job. It does have a fast reload with that one reload perk, which is pretty nice. It's about like 1 second, maybe 2. But it's fairly fast reload. Now it seems like we do have Nature Storm, so they are destroying the van a bit quicker than normal. Really annoying. But we did do it. Very tasty, and we're getting closer and closer to getting that achievement. The rescue survivors, or survivor saved. We are getting ever so closer to getting that. Which then after that, I have one more achievement I need to get, and it's the Play With Others. And the Play With Others achievement, yeah, I don't want to do it. Like, I wish we didn't have to push the giant question mark at the map. I wish it would just include joining missions instead of just doing the question mark 1,000 times. Because that's how you do it. You have to do the question mark. You can't just like join a mission. It has to be the question mark. You click and join, which I think is annoying. I think if you play with randoms, it should just be counted anyways. But you know, if that was a thing, that achievement would have been done hundreds of days ago, years. My brain was like, oh yeah, let's say years ago, but then let's say 100 days ago, and then let's just say something else. I honestly don't know. ADHD moment. Am I right or am I right? Now, a big majority of our teammates have left the game, but I think we'll just have to load into a different match to get our what will I call it? Our objective review. Yeah. You know, when we do like a Lara's van or something, you know, when we do the objective and test out the weapon on it. So we'll have to go to a different match because you know, yeah. We're not going to be able to do this with only 2 people. And me using a bit of a janky, gimmicky weapon might not be the best, so I'm just going to leave this mission, and we're going to load into a different one. So, yeah. Alrighty, we are in a different match. We got different teammates. So let's just go see how well this does. Okay, not the worst, not too bad. Same as before. I shouldn't expect much from just changing the zone, but still, really good weapon. You know, killing pretty quickly. There was a little segment I wasn't recording for that just happened as I loaded in, and I killed a big handful of them. But point being, I was recording, and I'm not gonna put that on my Xbox, because then it's gonna have a pop-up midway, and I just don't want any interruptions. So we're just not going to do that. Now I don't think this weapon will hold up for a encampment review, so we're just not gonna do it, because encampment reviews are not usually the best. They just don't hold up for them. So anyways, we'll cut back when the defense started, because I think we've seen what we needed to see, and well, yeah, we'll see you at the defense. I know I said I was going to cut back when we got some, well, not some, but a defense started. But we do have a smash right up ahead, and I do have some wafers, so I'm a little bit curious how much we can do to it. Oh, I missed. Yeah, this is exactly why I don't really like the weapon, because, you know, you're controlling it, and when you miss when you're controlling a weapon, like precisely what you're controlling it, not patrolling. I almost said patrolling for some reason. But when you're precisely controlling it, it feels a lot more like, god damn, I fucked up, instead of damn, you know, the blooming of it made me miss. Like, you know, it's like, subconscious guilt, you know. I guess I don't know. But point being, it did better than the Zap Zapp. You know, I feel like giving this a second chance with the Smasher. I feel like since I missed a couple of my hits, I feel like it can do way better than I usually showed it. Oh yeah, look at that. That's doing way better. Yeah, I think I was just doing terribly with the weapon, personally. But yes, it does seem to do relatively fine against Smashers. So it's a good thing that we went through and made that correction, because if I didn't, I think I would have misrepresented the weapon, because it is really strong. So yeah. Where did the teammate come from? I was just kind of vibing, testing out the weapon, and the next thing you know, I see this little blur run towards me to grab up the loot. But anyways, well, now the defense has started, so let's go see if we can, yep, one tap basic husks at least. Let's see if we can get that shielder down there. We did, pretty tasty. And it's removing about half the health at a lucky crit. Pretty tasty, pretty good. Now, I think if you hit them directly on, it does do more damage to the set target. It doesn't share around that damage though, so I do think that's something important to keep in mind. Oh my god, okay. There weren't those parts of the defense. So let's just go so far to our pistol real quick to tap them out with that. The Haywire Storm is super strong, so honestly, I think it will be a pretty useful weapon. We're missing something right there. What did I get? 97 subwafers. What did I get this many? Anyways, let's go in with a couple subwafer shots, see how well it does. Oh, just 2P water smasher right there. Let's go pop another wafer. Let's go see. Okay. So it's doing about the same-ish about the Zap Zapp, but definitely when you get that crit in, it does better. Okay, I don't know why I put the walls there, because if I put the walls there, they're going to get me anyways. That was really useless, because they will just break the walls and hit me. I didn't need to do that. Okay, we really need to reinforce this section right here. Oh my gosh. Hopefully my teammates can go do that. I popped out my drones, so I'm gonna go focus on other things real quick. But yeah. Was that about half its health when we hit that with a crit? With the rocking out? Interesting. Really interesting. Oh, god damn it. If I edit too fast, it will just do that, and I find that really annoying. Okay, this can activate propane husks, so I suggest you do be careful around them. You don't want them to blow up. Blow up. You don't want them to explode or blow up. I don't know. I said like blow like that. I don't know why. I said it funny. I said it really funny. But point being, we don't want that happening because if they do that, you know, defense go bye-bye, more or less. Wait, what's being wait, that's that, and that. Okay, so it's these two are getting damaged. Where? Oh, this is what. So basically, got them here somewhere. Now, actually, if you hit them, okay, no, okay, so the explosion. Okay, so the explosion can cause to activate the propane, which is not good. So do be careful. Do really, really be careful. I suggest maybe using this to clear out the enemies, and if you see propane, swap to your primary. Of course, we are semi-using it as a primary right now because review. But, you know, it's doing alright. I am switching to the Haywire Storm every so often. So, yeah. Also, the Haywire Storm is, of course, really strong. Also has really good range. If we just, you know, it's a decent weapon. It is very flexible. Oh, let me get my ass whooped. Anyways, I'll cut back when we get the mini-boss. Alrighty, so the mini-boss just spawned in. I hear this little spawning sound effect, like the guitar riff. I just heard it, so let's go see how it does. So, okay, from our first impressions, it's not doing great. Let's go pop a wafer and see. Oh, okay, it's chunking it. For the ammo cost though, and you know, durability and such, I do not personally review. I personally does not. I personally. Ooh, I'm stuttering so bad right now. Oh my gosh. I personally do not suggest it for mini bosses. From what I'm seeing right now, it can work, but I don't really suggest it for at least 160 mini bosses. If you're doing something lower, you know, it might do fine. But for the 160s, at least, no. Just no. I'm gonna switch over to my Haywire Storm and just focus on that real quick. Okay, where is it? There's so much purple going on, I can't tell where it is. Oh my god. Come on, did die. Just die. Thank you for dying. I'll take your loot. Anyways, I'll cut back to the, actually no, we'll cut back to lobby, because, I'm gonna show off some stuff again, so, Alright, just a reminder, this is the second loadout we're doing for the second review, or second portion of the video. I don't know how you really want to say, because these reviews are kind of multi-reviews in a sense, like reviewing the weapon, then the build, and then a lot of things. So this is the loadout we'll be using for the second part of the review, I guess. I don't know. Honestly, I should probably actually like work on the actual like things I say for these segments more than just like, hey, it's kind of like this, so that's what I'll call it. You know, I should probably work on that more. But yeah. Anyways, this will be the build we're using. Just another simple increase, but more towards the damage and impact instead of just the crit. So yeah, let's get in game and let's show off this part of the review. Alrighty, we are in game, so let's go craft some ammo because we're actually almost out. Let's just go craft some more and let's go see if we can find maybe a group of enemies we can go tickle real quick. Okay, that that caused a bit of a frame drop when I did that. When there were so many targets, they all just explode and do that cloud effect. Okay, let's see how well it does. It's doing a lot better. It's killing faster. We do have a bit more of a damage increase, well, direct damage increase than just crit. So we're not as reliant on the crit, but it's still there. It still helps out a bit. But it is absolutely doing good. Now, the mission we're in does have healing death burst, so they will be healing themselves every time we kill an enemy. But if we kill them fast enough with one weapon and one big explosion like we currently are, it wipes out fairly quickly, which is super tasty. I'll just let that do affliction. Okay, yeah, the affliction ends the second I mention it. But very tasty. Now they're being knocked back a lot more than before since we do have the increased impact, which, you know, is fine, but not really needed. But, you know, it works. Shrug. Like, I don't know. Alrighty, so the defense has started, but my teammates did use Brick in a water zone. Probably out of fear for metal corrosion, but as I said multiple times on the channel, metal corrosion only gets activated by the basic husks, so not husky husk, husklings, mist monsters, only basic husks. You know, it's not really a big of an issue. You know, if you trap properly, kind of something like this. I did this little section over here. This will do fine. It'll go basic husks, but you know, obviously smashers and maybe husky husk will get through. But it's not really big of an issue. But you know, big issue is the basic husk, because I think they have made metal corrosion a bit stronger. It does rip up more builds than before. So I do suggest using the correct element and actually properly defending the base, not doing whatever the fuck this shit is. Oh my god. Oh my god. What is this? What is this? It looks like an attempt for a Winterfest defense. But they didn't. They voted early before they even finished it. Like what? What are they doing? what are they doing? Basically, it gets 250 husks. It does relatively fine. Of course, not a primary weapon, but it can work. You will eat up a lot of ammo and resources. So I do suggest you be a little wary of that. But it's fine. You know, it's weaponing. Now it does feel way stronger with Quick Draw Calamity in the lead, so I would do suggest it if you used her instead of Beetle Jess. It does feel stronger with Quick Draw Calamity. But we're gonna go see if we find another big crowd. It seems to be forming over here, so let's pop a wafer, do a war cry, and let's see. Yep, that's one-tapping everything. Really strong weapon. Really strong and really easy to use. Yeah. Also, it seems like the more I use it, the better I'm at actually telling where it's at. I know, shocker, right? Also, I didn't eat anything today. I just got done with dinner. I made some like microwave burritos, and it feels all better to use. I should probably be making videos while hungry. You know, agitates your inner reviewer. You know. But yeah, it's a very decent weapon. Very tasty little food. But I'll come back when we get to the mini-boss. Alrighty, so the mini-boss has spawned in. Let's go to it. See what it is. Oh, and it's a melee mini-boss, which means we should actually be using a melee. I don't have a good one crafted, so I'm going to craft one real quick. A little unfortunate that in the second part we can't really review the weapon in its fullest, since it is a melee mini-boss. So let's just call a melee, and let's just start taking it. Now, I made this. I noted this out in some video. I forgot which one it was. I think it was either the Tiger video or the Deathwing video. But it feels like almost every time I make a video, the mini boss is always a melee one. It's annoying. It's really annoying. Let's have to wait for the war cry and just go dig in. There we go. Pick up the rewards we have rightfully earned. Oh, and they're still using brick for some of the replacement parts. Are we serious? I went in chat. I told them, hey, this and this. Use metal. You know, because water does 2x damage. And then it doesn't even matter. They just never listen. Randoms never listen. Instead of actually educating themselves on the game, the Redditors play like an actual robot. Oh, that guy used metal. See, that's improvement. Now, then again, we need to be aware that basic husks activate metal corrosion. So, metal here isn't really a big problem. It's just more in the central defenses where it really matters. I know, crazy, but yeah, it's just randoms. Am I right or am I right? I'll see you back in lobby for the final analysis. So, would I suggest the Tiny Instrument of Death as a primary or even secondary weapon in Fortnite Save the World? No on primary, yes on secondary. It does great as a secondary. You use your primary, runs out of ammo, and there's a crowd. You pull out this Tiny Instrument of Death, boom, dead, bam, whatever. But it has a lot of use cases as a secondary and maybe a primary. I can see it as like a good weapon to use in weird tight situations and trap tunnels, where you're firing your gun, it kind of like you know, there's like a weird bend, so you like use that to go around the bend and like stay in a safe spot where the zombies can't reach you. It can really work for that, but you know, usually you're not doing that. And also, this gun does take 15 batteries to craft, which can be a little pricey depending on how much batteries you have and your opinion on batteries and crafting recipes. I know a lot of people dislike it, but it can really work for trap tunnels and, you know, kind of maneuvering through them if they have like weird bends and getting targets. This would also just work to clear out crowds and like choke points. Like, let's say there's like a little slope they have to go up to, and they're all like lined up. You can fire that down there and it'll just get them. Like, it's flexible, but it's costly and not necessarily the best. There's definitely better options, just like a normal bazooka. Like, you know, why use this when a normal bazooka is cheaper, doesn't take batteries depending on which bazooka you're using, and does the same job. You know, it's a little bit of a weird one, but this one, unlike bazookas, the Tiny of Death, it can go around corners, you get to guide it, you get to do little cool tricks with it. So it does have that benefit, but personally speaking, I do not suggest it as a primary, but it can work as a secondary. Also, remember how at the beginning of the video I mentioned that I was grinding my endurance to get gold flux? No, not gold flux. Gold perk up? Well, this is what I use it on. Anyways, I'll see you next time, and I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.